And welcome back. And we always want our viewers to be as healthy as they can, and we'd like to know that we played a role in that. So we have guests such as Dr. Jean White. Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to have you here. Always glad to have you here, Dr. Jean. And we thank, for our New Year, New You segment, we thank Boyce Willis Clinic, UNC Health Nash, and the YMCA for participating and sponsoring these segments we've had throughout the month of January. I'm going to have to, UNC Health Nash, I've got to learn how to reprogram myself to say it right. They changed their name.
They have.
They changed their name, but I've told people they do not, we own our hospital. They do not own us, but
That's right.
they play a very important role in our hospital now. So anyway, I asked Dr. Jean to come because, we've all gotten the habit of, everybody seems to be stressed. Whether it's COVID, whether it's always something to stress us out. And so I asked Dr. Jean to come and talk to us. It seems like you're a part of a program, Optavia. First of all, tell us a little bit about that program.
Well, first of all, let me clear up the doctor thing.
Okay.
I do have a doctorate, but I'm not a physician.
Okay,
So,
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm a retired nurse practitioner.
Okay,
So I have a
wonderful.
30 years as practicing as a nurse. So
Yes.
So I've got the medical, but
she
I'm
does have
not
her
a physician.
doctorate.
I do
She's
have a
not a
doctorate,
doctor, but
I'm
she's-
not a physician. Just to clear
But
that up.
she is a doctor. She's not a doctor.
I am a
but
doctor.
she's doctor.
I'm a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. So when I retired as a nurse practitioner, I wanted to decide what am I going to do now? What am I going to be now?
Yeah.
Right? And I wanted to continue using my skills and my knowledge to help
Sure.
people. And I was not in very good physical shape myself when I
Right.
retired. I just wasn't. And I thought, if I don't make a change here, I'm going to, in a couple of years, be in a nursing home being taken care of. And that is not how I wanted to spend my
Right.
retirement years. So I started looking for a way to improve my own health as well as a way to use my skills.
Right.
And I found Optavia, and I really fell in love with it.
Okay.
I lost over 100 pounds on the program.
Wow.
And so I decided to become a coach for them and help people to get well.
That is wonderful.
It is, yeah.
Well, there's nothing like somebody telling you something that's been there, done that. I mean, that's really,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah. But the goal of Optavia is not to lose weight. Okay, that people think that, but the goal of Optavia is optimal health.
Mm-hmm.
And weight loss is only one portion of optimal health.
Right. Oh, you're so right.
Only
You're
one portion.
so
Yeah.
right.
So I tell people it's a life transformation program that has a weight loss component to it.
Right.
So we live in this instant gratification society.
Right.
Where everybody wants it now. Everybody wants optimal health.
That's right.
Means different things for different people. Will your optimal health be different than my optimal
Right.
health? So as a coach, I have to work with you to find out what is going to be your optimal health. What do you want?
Right.
And then we work towards that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but people want it, but they want it now.
Right.
And they don't want to do anything.
You don't want to do anything.
They don't want to change
get there.
anything.
Exactly.
They want me to give them a pill. That's
Exactly.
going to make them instantly,
Magic.
optimally
Just
healthy.
like that.
Yeah. And nobody ever got optimally healthy by
No.
taking pharmaceuticals.
No.
They didn't. Yeah. So I was listening to Cheryl here talking about the instant stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and being mindful of what you're spending.
Yes.
Well, when I talk to people about coming on program, and the first thing before I even tell them about the program, most people will say, well, if it's expensive, I can't do it.
Right.
And they'll spend money on things that they're not going to help
Exactly.
them, but they don't want to spend any money on getting healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'll say, well, let's talk about how you're spending your money, because I'll tell them what it's going to cost them. Well, I don't spend that much on groceries. Well, let's talk about what you spend on groceries,
Right.
okay? How many nights a week do you stop and get takeout because you don't feel like cooking?
I was going to say, you go out to eat and spend
Yeah,
$60,
right.
$70 for two people now.
Exactly, yeah. And how many times do you stop and get Starbucks coffee?
Exactly.
How many times do you stop and get in the morning and you were too busy to eat breakfast, so you stop and get a Hardee's biscuit,
Yes.
and a cup of coffee. So I said, why don't you keep a log for a week and see what you actually spend on everything you put in your mouth?
You'd be surprised.
and I'll call them back the next week, and it's like, I was shocked at how much I actually am spending, and yeah, I can afford this.
Yeah, absolutely.
'Cause
absolutely.
It's just, it's a matter of priorities.
Yes.
What and you got to be willing to make some changes.
That's exactly right. And people say all the time, Jean, to me, I eat. People say to me, I eat because I'm stressed. I eat when I'm stressed. I was talking to a girl the other day, and she had gained a little weight, and it was kind of noticeable. Of course, I didn't say anything, but she said, I'm eating because I'm stressed.
Mm-hmm.
People do that.
Yeah, and we live in a stressful world, and it's
Yeah.
not going to get better.
It's always something. I mean,
mean,
something's always going to be a little stressful.
Think about the amount of information we are bombarded with every day. And we have to make
Exactly.
choices of what parts of that information we need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a stressful thing. And the amount of information you get per day is never going to be less than it is today.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's always going to continue to get
more.
as technology increases, we're going to get more and more bombarded every day
You're
by
right.
information. And it's stressful.
Yeah,
It really is.
You're right.
And with the economy, we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know who to believe.
Right.
Because
exactly.
you hear 14 different
That's stressful in
versions
itself.
of what's going to happen with the
Yeah.
economy. We don't know who to believe
Yeah.
until it actually happens. So we don't know what's going
Absolutely.
to. And then our families cause stress. It's just everything we have is like Cheryl saying. You need to have 3 months of
Exactly.
of income
Yes.
because you don't know if you have a job tomorrow. Well, that's
That's
true.
right.
We don't know if we have a job tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. That's
Something else
And,
to
and dealing
create
with stress is
stress.
one of the areas that we deal with
Yes.
Optavia, because we realize that it's got to happen up here,
Yes.
or it's not
yes.
going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the biggest thing
It's
right here.
frame of mind. I mean, it really is frame of mind and the right mindset.
Exactly,
You've
the right
got to get
mindset
in
is-
the right mindset.
Exactly. Yep.
So, all of these things but how do we get in the right mindset? What are some of the things we can do? And, I was listening to something on the internet the other day, and they said, move, get up, move. If you sit at your desk all day, do you sit at your desk all day? And you snack, and you do this. Get up and move, walk, do something to change. You know what? When I walk a lot around the campus. When I get up and walk, I have a whole different mindset. I mean, I really do.
Mm-hmm.
My whole frame of mind just changes. I'm out in the fresh air. There's no stresses out there. I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about any of that.
And being in the sunshine helps too.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And the best thing you can do is to what they call forest bathing overseas.
Yes, yes.
We don't talk about that here, but forest bathing is like going walking in a forest.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I like the Greenway down here, because
Uh-huh.
it's so peaceful. You
Yes.
can walk in there and
Right.
and it's great to be able to get that greenery and the sunshine in order to rest your soul.
Absolutely.
And get calmer. But you're right. Exercise is. We don't really talk about exercise. We talk about movement.
Right.
Because exercise
I'm
has a
not
bad
gonna
connotation.
exercise.
Yeah.
Now,
Nobody.
I'm going to
yeah.
tell you I don't like it, and I tell my viewers I don't like to exercise. If I've got to do push-ups and I've got to do all these things, I'm not going to do them. You know yourself. You know what you'll do. You have to do something that you enjoy. If you hate every
If you don't
minute
enjoy
of
it,
doing
yeah.
exercising, you hate it, and you're not going to do it.
Yeah, my grandmother's doctor told her she needed to walk, and she said, "If you tell me that I need to walk or I'm going to die, we may as well plan my funeral."
Yeah,
because I'm not going to
Some
walk.
people don't like to walk. I like to walk. That's what I like. May not be what you
Yeah.
like, but you've got to find something
Some way to move.
and do, and not just use food as a source of feeding your, helping your stress, because
'cause
it's
food-
not going to happen.
And actually, food can be the worst thing,
Right?
depending on what you're eating.
Yeah.
Sugar is terrible on
I
your.
know.
And people like to have donuts around. I saw donuts coming in the door there. So they like to have a snack on sugary stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it makes you immediately feel good. But then what it does is it raises your blood sugar, you get a spike. And then your body has to create all this insulin
Right.
to carry that blood sugar
Right.
around. And then you get too much insulin and your
Right.
blood sugar goes down, and
Then
you
I'm
get,
probably going to be
you're going to fall
cranky.
asleep, yeah, and you're going to get cranky and irritable, and you're not going to feel good, and it's just going to make it worse.
Yeah. So,
So you don't want to be eating sugar.
Right.
That's one of the.
but we love sugar. We
do.
love sugar in the United States of America. You know, we
do.
eat more sugar than any other country.
Exactly.
We really do, but there's moderation to everything. You can have a little sugar. I
Yeah.
mean, if there's a donut, if there's a piece of pie, okay, well then, do you have to eat the whole pie?
No.
Do you have to eat the whole piece? You know, a little
That's my
piece.
alarm. I gotta turn it off.
Oh, okay. A little piece of something will satisfy. It will satisfy that sweet tooth that you have. So, anyway.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So, you know, I asked Dr. Jean to come and remind us that we do not need to eat to satisfy our stress. We need to be moving.
And we do talk about movement, not exercise.
Yes.
A lot of people don't like to exercise.
Yeah.
Things like, when you're having a telephone conversation, instead of sitting, having that conversation, why don't
Yeah.
you pace up and down?
Yeah.
Get a few steps in while you're having the conversation.
I walk to the mailbox.
Walk to the mailbox.
And I walk fast at a fast pace. I try to get my heart rate up, to just back and forth to the
Right.
walk to the mailbox. Just do something as simple as that, but just move.
When you go to the
any way
store,
you
don't
can.
take the closest parking space.
Right,
Park farther away
exactly.
from the store and get extra steps in.
Exactly. And my mother is probably watching, and she's probably saying to me, "Don't you sit there and say you park far away. Don't you do it." She knows I will sit there and I will wait for somebody to come out, and I need to stop that. I'm guilty as charged. So,
Yeah.
all kinds of things. But okay, so how, Dr. Jean, if somebody wants to get involved with Optavia, how can they do that?
They can contact me, and I can.
Okay.
I want to talk to them about what their goals are and make sure it's a good fit for them first.
Yes.
Because I don't want them to spend money on a program that's not going to work for them.
Right.
So, and we have a lot of different programs, so that's why it's
Right.
important to talk to a coach first.
Yes.
And find out which program's going to be best for you and if it's going to fit, and then I can set them up and get them going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your contact information?
Well, you can contact me. My phone number is 678-521-8221.
Say that again.
678-521-8221. And my email is my first name's Linda, but I go by Jean, so it's ljeanwhite@gmail.com.
Okay, very good. And if you can't get in touch with her, or you forget the number or whatever, or if you didn't have a pen, call me. I will hook you up
Yep.
with Dr. Jean. So we enjoyed you being on.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it. We'll have you back another time, I'm sure. So we'll be right back with the K Files right after this.